This leaf situation here is getting completely out of hand. Last night I blew off all the leaves off Dream Jesus giveaway number 13, and this morning woke up to more leaves. Get on with it already. We know what the outcome is. We know what the end result will be. All jokes aside, guys, I absolutely love this time of the year. It's awesome to come outside and see a complete change of the environment that we get so used to looking at when everything's nice and lush and green in the summertime. Now, I mean, it's kind of like a happy time of the year because, I mean, it's starting to cool down, starting to get into different clothes. It's kind of ironic because, like, everything's dying around us right now. So I was gonna say we were missing Jake there for a minute. What's up, buddy? We got ourselves a nice little goat pen here, but the goat pen is going to get moved before we actually occupy it. We're gonna have a chicken coop that will go inside, actually clearing out all of the brush and overgrowth that's kind of right back here. We're gonna be moving the goat pen, which will have small pygmy goats or fainting goats, probably about half a dozen chickens, kind of back into this general area. Well, I still need to come back here and clean some of these trees up, but once these are out, the goat pen is gonna kind of go right in this general area here.
I think I can talk into some alpacas too.
Dude, alpacas would be sick.
Go to feed them and they just spit on you every morning.
What's that, squirrel? Of course it's a squirrel. That's all I ever see in the woods are freaking squirrels. For all the hunters in the audience, tell me how tempted you've been to shoot or lose a $30, $40 arrow at the one squirrel that will not leave you alone in the trees. Like, you're looking at that broadhead, you're like, I want to just sink that thing into that annoying squirrel so bad. We cleaned up a lot back here. I came out here the other day, my wife's like, could you get like some small logs for our fireplace? See the result? I cut this right here. Happened to also just stumble upon these. I don't know how that happened.
Mother Nature's crazy.
It was weird, dude. Like, it's like I blinked and all of a sudden those trees are on the ground. I have no idea what the heck happened. So we're gonna clear out this whole area. We'll be able to see the whole backyard from the house. And what we're about to do now is head back into the woods where the food plot is. We're gonna grab one of the 2 tree stands and we're gonna put it somewhere up in this general area because every single time I'm out in the woods, I get pictures of deer that are all here while I'm back there. We'll sneak back here. There's a possibility that there could be something that we bet up. Every single time I walk into the woods, there's something. Bringing this just in case. Pop up out of nowhere, man, I'm telling you. Every time I walk back here, I'm like, God damn it. Yeah, he thinks he's the man, but he's not. Just looking right at us. Some live action coming out of the Rocky Ridge homestead, dude.
She was young and dumb, that's for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to shoot her.
She was probably, like, all I saw was brown and a white tail. Like,
I'm sure that we're being looked at by like 3 other deer right now. We just don't know where they're at.
Craziest part, yeah.
All the crop's been harvested out in the field, so they're definitely going to start to bunker up.
We were standing here having a full ass conversation.
And she was eavesdropping. Eavesdropping in our conversation? That's rude. This was that tree stand that was actually on the property after I bought it. Been on this tree for a minute. Here's the rope that was securing the ladder. The tree was starting to grow around it. This vine grew around it as well. But I'm actually happy that we took it out of this tree. And the wind was blowing so much, dude, that all the dead branches up there were like falling down on me. It was actually like really sketchy. Luckily, I brought my mule to work today. Aww. If you need a hand, I'll be back here for support. Sometimes you just got to say to yourself, like, situations like this are just meant to be. Like, this tree was meant to have a stand in it.
It's been growing for hundreds of years for this exact moment.
It's rock solid. Freaking meant to be, bros.
Nice cover on both sides. Now you have no excuse.
We just need to get a deer. All stars are in alignment except this variable right here. Oh my God, guys, I am so excited about the new location of the stand. You have absolutely no idea how long I've actually wanted to do this since we've been seeing all the deer back here, literally all of the time. I'm getting more and more involved in archery and kind of all of that excitement that just builds until the season that we're in right now. In Pennsylvania, there's only 1 month left of the first archery season. Then the second one starts up basically after the Christmas holiday. With new property, you're really trying to kind of find the movement of the deer. So naturally, we planted that food plot that we were just at, and that's come along great. Being that it's so new, they're really not familiar with its location, what it offers, and ultimately how delicious it is. So we've got the trail cameras back there. We've been seeing some great movement. And then of course, we've got our stand here. I gotta get a bow hanger. I'm probably gonna run out to Kinsey's to grab one of those a little bit later today, but then we should be all set up and ready to rock and roll. Generally, guys, you have no idea how grateful I am to be able to say that I get to walk right out of my house, nothing but 50 yards back to the stand where we we've got woods behind, woods to the right, and woods to the left. And then we've got all the woods back there. So they kind of like to congregate in this area. I've actually had a few opportunities on deer. It's just that they were too small and I decided to let them pass. One of the most important things to me is harvesting the deer that seem to make most sense. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say is on the mature ones, I want to leave the young doe on the property because inevitably I want to make sure that I balance the big game that kind of actively live on this land. I do have the GoPro hooked up to the Matthews. I've turned it on pretty much every chance that I get at a shot. We will hopefully get you guys some live action whenever that right opportunity comes. And I'm hoping that I can get out this weekend and get you guys some footage, get me a deer, and man, just kind of break the ice for the 2020 season. It's nice, buddy.
Thanks, man.
You got your Nox in there, you got your viewfinder in there, rangefinder. Aha. Dude, that thing's pretty handy. And it's super like concealed to your chest so it doesn't get in the way of actually handling the bow. It's got that nice Hoyt. You went with a single pin, you just switched to it. How do you like that thing?
So far, it's legit. I just got to get my tape figured out.
I've shot single pin before, and when I'm standing in one spot, looking at a target in a fixed perspective, it's fantastic.
Hunting makes me wonder how it's...
When I'm thinking about it, because I've got my rangefinder on me too. All right, cool, 25 yards, it's still moving. All right, 30 yards, it's like, so now I'm like rangefinder and then single point. It's gonna be a process, bro. My father-in-law and my brother-in-law have killed so many deer with single point. You almost just knocked your Luminok.
That's the nice thing, dude. These things are crazy accurate.
Hey deer, hey, stop it. Just stop right there, stop right there. We grabbed ourselves a nice seat that'll go up on that 2-person we just hung. We've got our 3-position bow hanger, a trusty set of gloves that actually have the ability to take your release and kind of fold it through this little opening right here. Kind of slick. It's roughly 2:42 p.m. right now. I think I'm gonna try and get out there this evening to see if any opportunities present themselves. I could sit here and talk all day about hunting with you guys, but that's not the basis of this video. Rather, I gotta update you guys on the 2020 Denali. It's been a minute since this truck's been in the limelight. We have had so many projects that have come through this channel that have been literally the focal point of what it is that we're doing, all the videos that we're producing. And this truck right here hasn't been forgotten about by any means because I drive it in pretty much every single video. I've got it set up to a point right now that I am literally so in love with it. And I haven't really since had much desire to change it. Well, actually until today, that's why we're making this video. If you're new to the YouTube channel, this is my 2020 GMC Denali DURTYMAX. I was confirmed the first person on all of the YouTube platform that had 2020 DURTYMAX back in 2019. Picked this truck up July of 2019 from Laura Buick GMC in Illinois. My dog has 10 acres to poop, and he poops on my driveway. So we went all the way out to Laura Buick GMC to pick this truck up because they are the largest volume dealership in the continental US, and that's why they got allocation of these trucks so early on. And I really wanted to jump on the opportunity because we had been talking about 1.5 years leading up to the release of this truck about getting one as a replacement for my 2015 LML. What you going for there, big girl? 50 yards, 50 yards, hell yeah, brother. All right, let's see you send it. Hey, you hit the target, dude. Good job.
It's time for everything.
I was holding my breath. I was like turning purple back there. So I've had this truck now, which is crazy to think, for 1 year and 3 months, and I've loved my ownership of it. If anything, it's a massive step up from the classic body style 2015 LML DURTYMAX that we on this YouTube channel refer to as the OG. Now, since rest in peace to that truck, I will forever miss it. The nostalgia of Dream Diesel giveaway number 13 makes me look back and miss that truck so much. Not only for what the truck was in terms of its modifications and how it looked, Cognito 4-6 inch, 22x14s, it looked fantastic. It was just the fact that it was truly the icebreaker that made me fall deeply, deeply in love with diesel trucks. It was Dream Diesel giveaway number 4, and it's now down in South Carolina with the winners, Amy and Chad, and they're absolutely loving it. This was the replacement to that truck. 1 year and 3 months in, I absolutely love it. There's not many trucks that I say that about, and I think we are the types of people where we get something and then we change it and then we kind of want to change it some more. It's this constant inner desire to tinker, right? We always want to change things, play with things, adjust things, modify things, whatever the case might be. Weirdly, like, I haven't felt that about this truck since I've gotten it to where it is today. Now let's quickly talk about the mods that I've done to this truck to get it to what it is. Dude, am I distracting as hell for you? Or are you good? Boop, boop. All right, guys, so this truck wasn't stocked for very long. I think maybe it was about 1 month's time before we had actually thrown a leveling kit on it. We've got the Magoy's upper control arms with Fox shocks, and Magoy's 2-inch leveling keys to get us at the ride height that we're at today. It actually sits a little bit higher in the front than it does in the rear, intentionally though, because we need that extra clearance up front to clear these massive 355s that are wrapped around the 22x14 gloss and milled American Force AKAs. We've had the stock wheels. We had a stock set with 35s, black Fluxes or Fluxes with a stretch tires. Then we had those same 2214s with a Furies. And then we had the Trax SS8s with the Fury tires off of the OG LML. Then we had this wheel and tire setup. This is the 6th wheel and tire setup, but it actually mimics what I had on the OG LML, which was what I loved. It looks so good. So it really kind of eats up that 14 wide, almost to the point that it looks like a 12 wide. Now we're gonna talk a little bit more later in this video about some up and coming changes to this truck, so stay tuned. You're not gonna wanna miss out on that. This is a -73 offset wheel, and when I'd first put it on the truck back in, I think it was like July or August, I was shocked to see that it consumed a 14 wide as much as it does. It also gave us the ability to run a 14 wide on a leveled truck, whereas without stretching the tires, that's practically impossible to do on this older body style or generation. Let's talk a little bit more about the mods that we did to this thing. On the side, we've got some amp research steps. They were installed almost immediately afterwards, and so far, so good. We did some airbags on it that are remote controlled. Very nice addition to the rear of this truck for towing purposes. Very, very functional mod. We've got the backflip MX roll-up tonneau cover. I really do like this tonneau cover, but it's not really made the best. This buckle is already broken. And yeah, you can see that the felt and the adhesive is actually coming off on this side. So this is the only side that I can strap, but this thing flails in the wind like some sort of a flag when we're driving down the highway. We did do a lot of paint match work. Sean, Peach Bottom, you absolutely crushed it. Starting up front, the bezel around the grill, edge, the fender flares, very, very controversial lights and very, very controversial mirrors, also paint matched. Any of the executives from General Motors watching this video, why the hell did you guys have to change from this mirror style right here? It was perfect, it was flawless. You guys literally knocked it out of the park, and then you took something perfect and decided to change it. I don't think anybody will ever understand why. Rear paint matched badge, and that's really about all we did. Bringing over here, we've got, of course, our enthusiast decal, because what would this truck be without it? We've got 5% tint on the side, and we've got 50% tint on the windshield. Now, we did maintain a 5% brow up top too, so it definitely adds to that darkness effect. I wanted the tinted windshield benefits from the outside looking in, but I didn't want to have the hindrance from the inside looking out, and I think 50% was the perfect recipe for that. I also have the new Edge CTS3, which is currently frozen. It's been frozen on this screen actually all day. Oh man, we got a Baby Jack vlog takeover. What's up, dude?
Not today.
The other day, a set of wheels popped up that are the exact spec that I've been looking for. Fast forward about 35 minutes and a few messages back and forth when we made a deal, and now those wheels are en route to here. And I'm super excited about the finish of the wheels that are gonna be going on this thing. I'll give y'all a small teaser, just a little baby teaser. They're concave. I've never had a set of concave wheels on my daily. This will be my first, and I think it's gonna be fantastic. These are -73 offset because they are a flat-based wheel, whereas the concave ones are actually a -90 offset, so they will stick out just a little baby bit more. I'm hoping with the new wheel and tire setup, I can actually lower the front of the truck down a little bit to get it to sit completely level, and then that way I can actually put the front mud flap extension back on the truck. Now that brings us to where I had mentioned that we're gonna be getting to in this video is some more modifications that we're gonna be doing to the Denali. I kind of wanted to use today to just kind of discuss some of the ideas that I had, get your feedback on. Let's start up front. What is it that we could change about the facade of the Denali? Headlights. I'm thinking that we need to remove the headlights and build them. We need to get rid of that amber light that's on the side, because there's literally 0 orange light on the entire side of this truck because we deleted it off the fender, but there's that there. I would really like to do something with the amp research steps. Some stuff that's powder might stick and adhere and bake onto it very nicely. Coming around to this side, if you guys recall, on Dream Diesel giveaway number 11, the High Country DURTYMAX that we gave away, we painted everything on the surrounding shrouds of those plastic pieces except the steps, and they looked amazing. Thinking that that needs to happen to this truck as well. Coming back to the taillights, I also wonder why General Motors decides to really kind of pigeonhole us automotive enthusiasts by making the lenses of their lights red. Why don't they just make the bezels red and then the LED strips red, which are already red, and then leave the actual housing of the headlight clear? Red, clear on the actual lens itself, but on the inside, there's a red LED, whereas if they did something like this, silver housing, to look so sick on the back of this truck. Now, I really am an OEM plus kind of guy. There are exceptions, just like those taillights there, that look fantastic, but I really love the styling architecture of the taillights on these trucks. They have this really cool LED-C, and then on the inside of that is the turn signal, and then right here is an LED brake light. It's a super high quality built taillight, and I really don't want to get rid of it. It's not like we have a black truck where we could like paint over it to do our thing. I might tint them out maybe, but I don't really think that I want to do that. And it gets us to the point of powder coat. Do I really want to go down the route of powder coating things under the truck, kind of like we have here with those beautiful King shocks, the Cognito upper control arms, the front sway bar, and then all that awesome stuff in the back? I think that I want to. So that pretty much sums up kind of like the thoughts that I'm having about the build, but I want to get your feedback on that because I really think that some changes to this thing are somewhat long overdue. Well, boys, unfortunately, no luck tonight. Man, we got close, though. We had a few bucks. They were kind of just wandering right at about like 65 yards. And although we did make our adjustments on the site tonight to shoot up to 60, I just didn't feel the need to send a $40 arrow to risk it to scare them all off. The perk of the property here that I own is that it's never really been hunted, so the deer really aren't expecting hunters to be in the woods, so they're not as on guard, and I really don't want to jeopardize a shooting opportunity if I have one. Although we saw like half a dozen, if not 7 or 8 deer tonight. Oh, it just wasn't the time, but guys, we're getting so close. It's getting cold. My hands are cold. We're getting to that point in the year where the deer are getting really, really active. That's where we're going to wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for tuning along as always. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and tap that thumbs up button. And that being said, guys, we'll see y'all in the next upload.